Hey, what is up guys, and welcome to part 3, or I guess you could call it the interior tutorial for this medieval ship. And to begin with, we're just going to start from the bottom and then work our way down. And one thing I did try to keep in mind for this, I guess the decorations of the ship, is pretty much just to get everything that a ship in real life would kind of need back in these medieval times, and then just kind of make it look as realistic as possible. One cool thing I found is that if you're using this texture pack, somehow with the cauldron, I think it must be biome specific. So since we're above the water, it turns the cauldrons into like fishing baskets or just crates. So that's really cool, instead of just having to use like upside down pistons or something, or just tons of chests and just hay thrown around. Instead you can start throwing these new boxes in if you are using the texture pack. And you also, I believe you need Optifine on, and I think that might be it. But anyways, for this upper deck section, I just added a bunch of chests and crates, and also stuck in this steering wheel. So right where you had this fence, I just went one more up, then put a full block of the oak wood, and then put in all these little, I think they're the regular levers. And when you put in the levers, make sure they're all spinning in the same direction, so don't have one like that, just because that looks weird, doesn't look as much like a steering wheel. I'm sure there probably are other designs for these things that are better, but this is kind of what worked out best for this ship. And so yeah, that's pretty much it for the upper deck section. Also, if you wanted to, I guess next we'll go in. Yeah, I'll save that. I was gonna say, here, just real quick, for this roof right here, instead of using full blocks, you could switch it up to half slabs. So pretty much just delete everything on top and switch it to the half slabs of oak wood, but you don't have to if you don't want to. And so on the rest of the deck, it's pretty much just all crates and chests and whatnot. And then right here, so one block to the left of the middle mast is where you're going to put this thing. So pretty much just 3 half slabs of whatever color wood you think will look best there, and you're gonna make, or kind of gonna make like a circle around it. So it'll be a little bit boxy, but that's fine, because I think some of these were actually square shaped back in the medieval times. But anyways, to do this, instead of placing your trapdoors on the block below, let me see if I can demonstrate it for you real quick. So as you see, if you place one right there and then one right there, it kind of blows the other one up, which sucks. But I did figure out a loophole around that, and that's to just put them on these half slabs. So it doesn't look as good from the bottom, but from the top, which is kind of what matters most, I guess, that's where it really starts to look good. And so basically I just did 3 that face that way, and then these 2 single ones, and they came together pretty nicely. And so if you're not sure what this thing is, it's just one of those things, I guess, in some of the more modern ships back in like maybe when it started to get a little steampunky or something. That's when they had like the cranes that could come down here, but for now, I guess in this time and era, people would just like toss a rope down and then they'd tie it onto a crate and then pull it up or something. And moving on to the front of the boat, which is like right behind where you had this thing, is going to be some stairs, so just throw these in, and I guess it would just be a 1 block gap in between the stairs and then this thing that goes 2 blocks high instead of just 1. And for this front, that's just more crates and boxes. And so as we go down, the stairs should be a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stairs down, and then you should probably, I think it was, I had to raise the floor 2 blocks up so the cannons could actually poke out the windows. So just keep that in mind. And so right where the stairs ended, I put a wall all the way across this whole thing. And so inside here is just some rooms for the crew. These aren't the only ones, don't worry. The crew doesn't just consist of 3 members, there's also a bunch down there. And what I did for these is kind of did these double stack bunk bed things. So you got one on the bottom, and then there's like this little wood gap, and then one on the top. I don't think you can actually sleep on them, or else it might kill you if you get up. That's from personal experience, by the way. And so anyways, also I added in this candle for lighting, just because here, look how dark that gets, especially at nighttime, which I guess is fine, but let's see. The candle definitely helps. And let's see, there's also this room, and I made sure and added some different pictures in each one, so there's that, and then I'm, let's see, this one's got the red flag, also pretty much the same configuration, and then here's where I started to get a little different, and this room is going to be right underneath the stairs, so it's pretty unique, and I decided to turn this one into the chef's room, and this goes kind of with what I was saying about trying to make this boat as realistic as possible, and just kind of, yeah, just, I guess it just all works together and fits. And so anyways, for this thing, it was pretty much, I think this is as far back on the wall as you could go. So I put in this little stove and then threw some knives in, and also these little pans and pots up there, and then a drawer right here. You could even put like a cupboard on this side too, but this just kind of distinguished the boundary between the oven and this wood. So that helped, and then this just must be like some map. I guess maybe it's like the cook's hometown or something, I don't know. And then there's this little crafting table that I stuck the candle on, and since the cook is a bit more important than I guess some of the other crew members, I went ahead and stuck in this carpet here just for some luxurious looks. And also just to make this wall look a little bit less plain, I threw in these little papers. That's just a picture, by the way. And so yeah, that's that. I think it looks a bit better with the door open just because it kind of makes it look like there's more room in here. And now for the cannon. So the cannon, the first one, as you can see, when you first built it, you probably would have had this whole empty room, and then you'd see these little black spots with the black wool. So it's going to be 2 out from that, then on the back of that. And by the way, this whole thing's going to be 1 block above the ground. And then you're going to take this dark oak wood stair, and I used this because it was the closest looking color stair to the black wool. So luckily they added these things in. And then also for the cannons, most people usually make them like this. And personally I don't like that because it looks more like a little pistol. So what I do is kind of this thing. So it definitely looks more stable. Looks like it's a powerful cannon instead of just some little measly handgun that they stuck on the floor. So yeah, that's that. And then for these, you can just pretend these are little boxes of cannonballs, but they're really just TNT. And I really like them on this texture pack because, let's see. There was one where you can see there's like a sign on the side, yeah. So not just a box, but it's even got like the labels and everything. It does kind of suck that it's red. That would be cool if they had like a cannonball one over the water. But I guess that'll have to do for now. But anyways, there are 4 cannons. And also one other thing that I should mention is definitely when you have a ship, to make it more realistic, when you have a mast like this, it doesn't just stop on the first floor. They would actually have them go down past the 2nd floor and all the way down to the bottom of the boat. And then if you're really going for realism, I didn't do it on this ship, but oops. They actually had a layer of, it was like rocks and stuff on the bottom just to help stabilize this, the ship. I didn't really have room for that though, so I just kept it wood. And so yeah, I just continued over. There's the 4 cannons, and then we move on to this room. So you have your last 3 wide cannon on the end, and then you do a gap of 3, and then that's where I decided to place this wall in. And then there's a gap of 3 in the middle and a door on either side of that. And then just to kind of make this wall less plain, I stuck in this picture. Man, there are tons of bats in here. I don't even think it's that dark. Oh, that's cool. I really like how like, the light shines down right through that stairway. Yeah. Definitely, if your computer can run it, which it shouldn't be that hard. For some reason, it actually makes my FPS better. But definitely get the shaders mod. It really makes the game look better. And yeah. So on the right side, right here, this is just basically storage. So I just added tons of crates and chests, and also, let's see, I added a couple of these, the crafting tables, also a piston, and even some hay. And then right here, I was scrolling through all the pictures trying to find something cool to make this wall look a little less plain. And I came across this really cool map. I think it might actually be, it almost looks like the world today, but like a million years back, like Pangea almost. So I'm not sure if that's really based off anything or if it's like some medieval fantasy planet. I don't know. And then on this door on the left, just because a ship this size would probably definitely have a lot more rooms for the crew than the 4 rooms we have in here. I think this one's a total of 16 beds, and it's a pretty big room. Here, let me just throw a torch down so you can see everything. So yeah, it doesn't look as nice with the torch. I really like it with like the darkness. It makes it look like it's sleepable and kind of cozy back here. But yeah, these are the beds if you want to see how to make them. So basically I just did 2 stairs up and then 2 upside down stairs to the right, and then just stacked the beds on those and just kind of mirrored it over on the other side, stuck some chests in between just so the crew would have some place to store their stuff. And then just for that little bit of lighting, I stuck that crafting table on the back with the candle on top of it. And what's really cool is when you have the door, if you're kind of approaching, and especially at nighttime, if you had this, you could kind of see the candle through there. I haven't actually checked this build out at nighttime, so I'm going to switch it over right now just for you guys to see. And then also, since this is the last video for this ship, I am going to show you it in default texture pack just to see how it looks. I haven't actually saw it myself, so I guess it'll be a kind of mystery for both of us. But let's see. video settings, I believe it's on, and then other, let's do nighttime only just to speed it up. And so here we go, so let's check it out. Should look pretty cool here in the moonlight. Oh yeah. That would be cool. Maybe I should be adding some torches up top. Maybe just around this thing. Let's see. Shit, I didn't go over the captain's quarters, did I? I guess it makes sense that I do it at nighttime now. So let's see. Maybe let's place this right here, and then also one on the upper deck. Right there might be fine. And then let's check this out from the outside. So yeah, it definitely looks a lot better with that illumination on the top of the deck. So let's check out the captain's quarters. So here we go. Pretty fancy. It's also got this big table for him and his other, I guess, generals of the fleet to meet. And so yeah, there they are. I put these down. Maybe they're like some plates or just like a writing pad that you might write on so you don't scratch up the big fancy table. And I did use jungle wood for this, so it's a bit like more exotic and whatnot. And then these birch chairs just to kind of make them stand out from all the darkness. And then here's his bed over here. It's also a double bed, just to symbolize that it is kind of bigger. Maybe it's like a king size instead of the, what would you call them? I think they're just like the twin size beds down on the lower deck. And there's this little fancy picture right here that kind of goes along with the color scheme in this room. This room really has like a dark crimson color. It's got like the dark woods, the bookshelves that are kind of a reddish color. It's also got some green accents in there. And then the red bed and whatnot. But as we continue left around the room, I put this table in here with a candle for some low light. And it's also, when you put three together, I guess it puts this map on the middle, which is kind of cool, considering this is the captain's quarters and he's kind of got to direct where the ship needs to go. And then to the left of that, I put these corner bookshelves in, and then as you can see, these are the windows that we added in on the first video. And I guess kind of on the back wall, it's just it's like the right side got flipped over, and so I stuck those bookshelves on over there. And then over here, I think it's 1 block away from this wall, and then 2 blocks away, or actually it's 1 block away from each wall. And so the table is a total of 5 blocks long and 2 blocks wide. And then yeah, there's all those chairs around it, so a total of 6 chairs, and then these ones are kind of on opposite ends, so this one's on the left, and then this one's on the right. And then I just threw some pictures back there. And I believe that's going to do it for today, guys. Oh yeah, before I forget, since I always do, I'm going to show you it in the default texture pack. But yeah, while I'm doing this, just make sure and let me know what you want to see next time down in the comments. Let me know if you enjoyed, I guess, the whole tutorial on this thing. Do you think it turned out good or not? And so yeah, let's go ahead and switch this thing over. Let's see, resource packs, and we'll take this one off. Got a bunch over here. Most of these are just kind of plain or old, or like for a modern style build. Let's see what this thing looks like. Wow, this is probably like the best looking boat I've done in the default texture pack. I think there was a Nordic style one that I did a long time ago on a server I used to play, but yeah, this is one of my better boats in a while. So I'm just going to kind of fly around, show you guys it, and then we can also take a look at the inside, although that might not look as good. Oh yeah, the red windows. I guess if you are kind of building this thing in default texture pack only, I'd recommend maybe just like a black window or just the clear glass. But yeah, the captain's quarters still looks somewhat decent. Not as good, because you don't get like the run down, grimy feeling. But I mean, everything else, it still looks fine, even though these aren't crates and whatnot. The cauldrons still look alright. The cannons are still fine down here. You can tell that the TNT is kind of supposed to be the cannonballs. Let's see. Let's take a look at these little crew rooms. So yeah, those are still good. The cook's office. Yeah, not bad. And then I guess we got 2 final rooms to check out, and then that'll be the end of this. That picture's kind of weird, but it'll have to do. Let's see. So yeah, not too shabby. And then here's this. Yeah. So, anyways, guys, just want to thank you for all the support on this little mini tutorial series. I think this is like the longest, or we've done a couple 3 long series before for a tutorial, but this is the first boat tutorial I've done, and you know, it turned out pretty good. Usually I kind of fail at these boats tutorials, but yeah, once again, guys, thanks for watching, and as always, I will see you next time.